Okay, in your DI, after you've designed your chess piece, you're going to find the surface area of it, because we're going to pretend to paint the thing. How do you find the surface area of something that has planar, what does that mean? Flat sides. There's no special formula for that. The surface area of an object with plane faces is just the sum of all the areas. What does sum mean? What operation in maths are we doing when you're finding the sum? Adding. So you add up all the faces. And you'll be like, well, there's all different kinds of faces, Mr. Toison. Why didn't you show me that? That's literally what I showed you 5 minutes ago. Do you have a formula for the area of a rectangle or a square? Length times by width. Area of a triangle. Half base times by height. So clearly this formula that I'm giving you here, surface area, is the sum of all the faces. Clearly that assumes you know how to find the area of shapes that make up the flat faces. You're required to copy down the formula of all the 2D shapes you need last lesson. So you've had time to get that. Can you get this example down so we can work through it? I should have erased that little purple thing, so I'll do that now so I can pretend that we're starting from scratch. So we have a little pyramid on top of a rectangular prism as an example. Get that down so you can see how we find the surface area, please. Every year when people are designing their chess piece, they tell me how long the diagonal sides are. Don't do that. You're going to decide how tall the pyramid is and how long the base sides are. Because once you've done that, maths decides how long those are. You don't get to decide that. You decide how tall it is and how long the base sides are. That's all you get to choose. Okay, silence. I want to find the surface area of this pyramid here. What shapes are the sides?
Triangle.
How many triangles? 4 of them and a square on the bottom. Can I just find that area of a triangle is half base times by height. So the base of that triangle is 6 and it's 4 centimeters tall. Is that right?
No.
I see some nods and I hear you saying no. It's not quite, because the height of... Is this triangle on the sides of this pyramid, are they straight up and down? No, they're wonky. Okay? I need to know the height of the triangle, which is that line there, directly down the middle. Okay? And some legend we had from, I don't know, Greece or something, called Pythagoras, told us that there's a relationship between the length of the hypotenuse and the length of the shorter sides. Can you see that there's an imaginary right angle triangle in the middle of this, where the hypotenuse forms the middle of the triangle sides of that pyramid? How long would the base of that triangle be? That purple one that I've just drawn. 3. Why? You're right, but why? Good. You because that pyramid's sitting exactly on this rectangular prism, and it's 6, that's also going to be 6. So half of it is going to be 3. Do we know how tall that right angle triangle is? 4. It's not wonky, so it's a 3, 4, 5, but I'll do the math anyway. H squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 9 plus 16 equals 25. Therefore, H is going to be 5 centimeters. Do I have the height of the triangles now? Good. So the SA, surface area of pyramid, is going to be, someone correctly said that there's a base to that. The base is a square, 6 by 6, plus, how many triangles are there? 4. 4 times by base, which was 6, times by height, which was 5, over 2. That's going to be 36 plus 6 times 5, 30 divided by 2, 15 times by 4, 60. So the surface area of the pyramid on top is going to be 96 square centimeters. Get that working down. Have a think about the rectangular prism on the bottom. So as you can see, it's the sum. Adding, Mr. 2, multiplication isn't summing. Yes, it is. If I'm adding 5 to itself 4 times, that's the same as times by 5. Yeah?
Are we doing just the surface area of the outside?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Please could I go to the toilet
Yeah.
quickly? Thanks.
Rectangular prism on the bottom. What shapes are they? You tell me. Rectangles and squares, good. Look at the rectangular prism first so that you don't make it harder than it needs to be. Are those rectangles around the sides, are they all going to be the same? And how many of them will there be? 4. If you decided in your chess piece design that it was 6 wide and then this was, 10, are there going to be 4 the same? Or no, you're going to have, there's 2 that the front and back are going to be the same, but then the left and right side will be different. Here, because it's 6 by 6 at the bottom, they're going to be 4 the same. Okay? So the surface area of the rectangular prism, 2 squares, 2 times by 6 times by 6. That's the 2 squares on the top and the bottom. And then 4 times by, what's the area of the rectangle is going to be? 6 by 8. 2 lots of 36 plus 4 lots of, I think that's 48. I'm going to double check that. 6 times by 8. Yeah, 48. Times by 4 plus bracket 2 times 36. 264. So just to answer that student's question, total surface area is going to be 264 plus 96. 0, 15, 16, 360 square centimeters, right? But that's including the bottom of the pyramid, right? And the top of the rectangular prism. This isn't a real context though, it's just shapes. But in your DI, we're pretending to paint your chess piece, okay? Would I have to paint the bottom of the pyramid and the top of the rectangular prism? So I suggest, if you want your maths to be checked within seconds, find the total and then take it off as a next step after, because that's the way my spreadsheet is going to work, okay? So do this now. What's the unexposed areas? I like that you said 36, but there's 2 36s. Why? Because it's the bottom of the pyramid and also the top of the rectangular prism. We have to take it off twice. So 2 squares, 36 square centimeters. So that is 2 times 36, 72. So total exposed surface area, which is in line with what you're going to be doing in your DI, 360, take away 72, 288.